In this video I'll do this example problem here, and in this problem, this example problem, it shows you a little bit about the classification scheme we have for graphs, and I'll review it here briefly. But basically we start off, we ask ourselves three questions. Can we repeat? So we've got nodes and we've got links. And the questions are, can we have, so we've got links connecting nodes. The first question is, can we have multiple links connecting two nodes? The second question is, can we have a link that connects a node to itself, called a loop? And this is a multiple links. And the third question we can ask is, do we have directional links? Or directed links. And because there are three questions we can answer, and we can answer each of those with a yes or no, independently of the others, we have 2 to the third, or 8 possibilities. And we've got all 8 of them shown in this diagram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And basically, if we've got, let's call multiple links M, let's call loops L, and let's call directed links D. And so the question is, can we have multiple links? Can we have loops? Can we have directed links? And the simplest case is where we have none of those three, and that's called a simple graph. Next we have a graph which adds the ability to have multiple loops, or multiple links but no loops, and is not directed. Okay. We can also take a simple graph and add loops, SGL, which is 0, 1, 0. Because it has loops but no multiple links. So when we have a simple graph, we have a 0 in the M column. We can also take a simple graph and make it a directed graph, a simple digraph is what it's called, and have a 0, 0, 1. Finally, we can take the graph and turn it into a digraph by allowing the multiple links and allowing the directed links. We can take the digraph, we can take a simple digraph and add loops. So we take the 0, 0, 1 and add the 1 here. We can take a graph and add loops. 1, 1, 0. So I'm taking this graph and adding the loops. And finally we can make a digraph with loops, which has all 3 possibilities. Okay? In any case, there's 8 possibilities altogether, and we're asked to classify the graphs shown below according to those 8. And you can see the picture here is kind of neat. This shows sort of a generic subset structure when we have these 8 possibilities. And these 8 possibilities may label 8 options for almost anything where you have 3 options and either one of them could be turned on or off. And so this shows the nodes in this graph show which graph types are subsets of the others. So for example, everything is a subset of a digraph with loops. A graph with loops is, and a graph with loops has 2 1s and a 0. So anything with a 1 in either of those positions and a 0 at the end is a subset of a graph with loops. And so the subsets of a graph with loops are simple graph with loops and a graph. So if I go from graph with loops, I have a simple graph with loops and I have a graph. And finally, the simple graph is a subset of everything because it's zeros in all 3. Anyway, let's go to characterize these 8 graphs here, and this is straightforward. This is This has none of the three features, so it's a simple graph. Okay. Part B has directed links, and it also has multiple links. And so it has a 1 in the M and a 1 at the end, and that's a digraph. It's not a digraph with loops because there's no loops. Part C here, it has no multiple links, so it's a 0 in the first column. It has loops, and it doesn't have directed links, and therefore it's a digraph. No, it's a graph with loops. No, it's a simple graph with loops. So it has a 0 in the M column, a 1, and a 0. 0, 1, 0 is a simple graph with loops. Yeah. The next one has a 1 in the third column because it's directional. Does it have loops? No. And does it have multiple links? Yes. So it's the 1, 0, 1. This is a digraph. Part E. Does it have multiple links between? Yes. Does it have loops? No. Does it have directional links? No. The 1, 0, 0 is a graph. The next one, part F. Does it have multiple links between two nodes? Yes. Does it have loops? Yes. And are they directional? No. 1, 1, 0 is a graph with loops. Part G. Does it have multiple links? Yes, right here. Does it have loops? Yes. And are they directional? No. It's another graph with loops. Finally, H has everything. It has multiple links between nodes, it has directional, and it has loops. So this is a digraph with loops. Okay, so I hope that's straightforward and kind of fun to do. Hope that helps.